Hi! Finally got my setup done. About to sip just a little bit of wine. And this is where I say, what's up, y'all? My name is Emily, and I'm here to overshare. Hi guys, welcome back. This is another episode of Here to Overshare. My name is Emily, and today, let me say, today's video is a bit intense, but not in like a bad way. Honestly, it's coming from a place of resolve and acceptance, and I just want to share this story. It's a bit triggering, no lie. Let me just give out a trigger warning. And my hope is that in me voicing it, it helps others voice out their stories too. And that's just that. So today I want to talk about, or rather tell a story. It goes back to, let me say, circa 2012, 2013. So, was it 2012? No. I'm not sure of the years. Let me not be specific with the year. Let me just say I was in my teenagehood. I was probably 16. So, growing up, I really grew up in a very strict home. I was really limited to where I would or would not go, who I would talk to and who I would not talk to. And that just made me a rebel. So I was never really one to be told what to do. I was gonna do whatever I wanted to do either way until this freaking day, okay? I do things my way, period. Anyways, 16, I would say. This one night, my friend and I decide we're gonna sneak out and go out to the club because everybody else was doing it. Why not us? So, we planned what time we were gonna leave, and we left the house at like 10 o'clock, let me say. And we go to the bus stop, catch a matatu, and we head down to downtown. So we get to this bar, pub, club. I don't know what it was exactly, to be honest, but it felt more like a bar than it felt like a club. So we get there. This is my first time going out in the club. And I've sneaked out, so hey, why not? Let's go have some fun. Because hey, everybody else is doing it, why not us? Hiya. So we get there, order our drinks. We get in the club, literally nobody even asked us for ID. My God, Nairobi. So we get our drinks. We sit there, we start dancing. There's good music and everything. Now, I wasn't really a drinker, and I ordered like a Smirnoff red ice or black ice. I don't remember, either or. And just that one drink had me tipsy as hell. But I'm here for the experience, so hey, whatever, woo woo. You know, it was fun in the beginning. It started out fun. So my friend, is approached by this guy, and the guy starts talking to her, and so they get cozy and everything. I'm like, okay, whatever, do you, I don't care. I'm here to have me a good time. I'm out. I've never gone out before. I'm going to have a good night today. So that happens. They continue on talking. The guy finally convinces my friend to go back home, and he happened to live in the same area as we did. So I was like, okay, I guess we're going home, but it was too early because I counted on us being there the whole night and going back home in the morning when it was early and at least there was light outside. So it would have been safer for us to go back home that way. So I was like, okay, well, if plans have changed, then I'm changing with them. So we decided to go home, and the pub, bar, wherever it wasn't too far from where we would take the bus to go back home. Matatu. So we get on the bus or on the matatu, and we head back home. So the bus literally drops us like a 2-3 minute walk away from where I live, or where we live, because we live in the same apartment with my friend. So we get there, my friend is already so taken away by this guy, so I'm like, oh my god, I can't leave her alone. And home is right there. Like, I'm ready to go home because y'all are, you know, doing you, so it's whatever. So I decided, you know what? We left home together. We're gonna go back home together. So I follow them. So we walk together. At this point, we're going to where the guy lives, right? And he lives in the same neighborhood, but it was a bit of a walk in comparison to where I lived. So we walk the streets. It's like 1 o'clock, 1:30 at night. And where I grew up, like, it was not safe at all to be walking outside at that time of night. It was the hood, okay? I mean, not like the hood, because there's like now the other side where you don't even be out by 10 o'clock, because shit's gonna happen. But anyways, our side was a bit safer. Not that it was any different, but it was somewhat safer in comparison to the other phases of the neighborhood that I lived in. So we walk, we continue walking, and then we get to this place now. There's like a little bit of a slope going down that direction that we were walking to. So as we approach that slope, I see two guys like from a distance just standing there. I'm like, okay, something so strong in me was just like, no, don't go any further than this. I freak out. I'm like, I try to tell them like, yo, who are those guys down there? Why are we walking down there? Like, can we not just go? Can we just turn around and go back home? They're like, you know what? It's fine. They're just two random guys standing outside. No big deal. I'm like, well, okay. I don't feel good about this, but at the end of the day, I'm with my friend. She's still hooked up on the guy. What can I do? I'm going with her. So we go. So we walk down the slope. We literally approach the guys. They do nothing. They don't say anything. Now, once we just literally come immediately to where they were standing, one of them pulls out a gun and is like, yo, give me all that you have. All the money, everything, your phone, whatever, I want all of it. Now, I snuck out, and I snuck out with my mom's phone because in case of emergency, I just wanted to know that I could call somebody in the event of shit happening. But now we've been robbed, or we're being robbed, so give the phone away, give the money away. Now, at this point, I'm already like, fuck. You know, you're scared. There's a gun. Just do whatever they want. It's whatever. Like, take it. Be done with us. We'll go our way. You go your way. That's fine. So after they've robbed us, they've literally like patted us down and everything. They know we're clear now. We don't have anything left. So the guy tells them like, okay, well, you've taken everything from us. Let's go. Let us go. So they're like, no, these girls are not going anywhere. And then one of them had like a bottle of liquor and just smashed a guy in the head with it. And the guy literally just ran because what else was he going to do there? They have a gun. He's just going to go away. So the two guys keep us there and they hold us in remand, and with that road continuing on, there's like a thick bush or like a thick kind of like bushy area. And then next to it, there's like a dirty ass river flowing. And so they walk us down into that bush. Now, I'm not going to get into the gory details of it, but we were sexually assaulted by these guys and they still held us hostage for a bit of time. And they both took turns on us. So after that happened, as all this was happening, rather, I was so sure I was dying that day, you know? And like, it was, I can't even really explain it. Because I don't want to like explain it in detail because it's a lot. It's a lot. But I just remember being so like, you know what, comply or die. You know, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, what else is there to do here other than just do what they ask? They have a gun, so I'm doing what you want me to do, you know? So that happens, they hold us hostage. At this point, I'm like, well, I guess we're dying. They're just gonna shoot us and throw us in the river. That didn't happen. They literally walked us out of that and we were free to go. But at the same time, you're still in the thick of it, right? Like, it's still the hood. You don't know who else you're gonna meet in front there. My friend and I were just like, okay, I don't know how we're gonna get home, but I just hope we get home. So we walk home scared, afraid, and we decide that nobody's ever gonna find out about this. Nobody needs to know that this happened. So we get home, we go shower, like literally together. I'm not even kidding. We shower and we just talk about it like, okay, well, that happened. The night didn't go the way we thought it would, but what else can we do? We're here, we're alive, so let's just continue on. So with this happening, I mean, after being sexually assaulted, you really don't realize in the beginning, or at least what follows after, is just a cycle of abuse is created in that instance. And over the years, like I speak for myself. I don't know. We never really even talked about it with my friend, like the events of that night and how she sought help and everything. But I mean, the next day we did go to like get a test done. We took like emergency contraceptives because that's what we thought was best to do. So we did that to prevent pregnancy, but at the end of the day, like, you've still been assaulted. You don't know if they were sick and anything like that. So we asked for counsel from the pharmacist. He tells us we should go back after 2 weeks, get our tests done, just to confirm that we're good. And we do. And things go great. So I decide I'm not going to share this with my family. She also decides the same. But then eventually family finds out. But even then, there was really never much conversation about the whole thing. But I for a minute, let me say, there was a time where I felt like, oh, like, why wasn't anything done in regards to this? Why didn't anybody say anything? You know, the whole thing. But then I don't know. Like, it was a time where, or that era, like, as Africans, this shit about therapy and counseling, like, nobody knew this. Nobody, like, was about this happen. Nobody had the awareness of the importance of therapy or counseling after such a traumatic event. And so over the years, I've lived with that, you know, and it really shaped so many, like, avenues of my life and so many parts of my personality. And I would say it was because I really held on to a lot of shame. I really believed it was my fault, because in the minute where I felt that pit in my stomach, it was so strong, and it was like, just don't go any further than this. It's like I ignored that part of me and I still went on. And so every time I went back to that, it just reminded me, like, you should have listened to your gut. You should have just not done anything. And so I believed so much it was my fault. And then some events also happened after that when I shared the story with some people that I thought, like, you know, I would trust them with it. And it turned out to be this whole thing of gossip and just, you know, talking about me, and therefore being shamed as well about it, you know. And I really held on to the belief that it was my fault. And so now, in this present moment, let me say a year later, with the whole thing that happened with character development, this was one of those things that was really triggered in me that I didn't realize, because it was the same thing that I felt shame in. People that I've slept with kind of know each other, or they know me, and the shame thing was triggered, and I didn't know it ran deeper than that, you know. And so I've done work over the course of this past year or so, let me say, to work towards that and to just come to forgiveness in that instance happening. And there's been so many things in the aspect of abuse emotional abuse specifically, where I really, because you really hold on to that belief that it's your fault, and you internalize it basically, and it becomes you. And you just feel like every instance, every experience, every interaction, it's your fault. And really, it's not. It's just because there's that belief system that you've created within yourself because of this one unfortunate event that happened to you. And you believe that you become it, and it becomes you. And so you move forward in your life just thinking everything is your fault, and not even being able to say no, because I did try to say no to them, but at that point you're so powerless. There's a gun to your head. They could literally just pull the trigger and you're dead. So it's like, well, I just gotta comply. And so many of those patterns of that just one event continued on in my life, moving forward, in relationships, in friendships, in the whole thing, you name it. I really just believed everything was my fault. And I would not say that I'm at the point where like I fully overcome, like doing the work of not believing that it is my fault, but I've just come to a place where I've really forgiven that, and I've accepted that it did happen. And there's been so much shit that has happened moving forward after that, and I've endured and experienced abuse in so many ways from others, even from myself. And all I really needed to do was to come to a place where I just had to forgive myself and forgive that experience. And it was not easy. It took a lot of work, journaling, information, talking to others about it. I finally was able to share this story with my sister,